And so in Nehemiah chapter 1, really, it's kind of weird if you read it, it gives the date. It gives the date that Nehemiah got the decree to rebuild Jerusalem. And so we have the date, Nehemiah 2:1. And so if only there were a priestly calendar family. You remember calendars from the 70s? All right, we still have one, big one, in the kitchen. A big, massive calendar with a pencil hanging there, right? This is how people used to keep track of things. Paper calendar. Well, if they had just had a priestly calendar family, they had priestly families for everything else. If they would have just said, hey, we read Daniel, we're going to know when the Messiah is coming, so we need a priestly calendar family. Hang a big calendar on the wall with a pencil on a string, and the day that the decree is given to rebuild Jerusalem, the family needs to go to the calendar and write a 1. And then the next morning, they need to write 2. And the next morning, they need to write 3. And then when that family dies, then the next generation needs to pick it up, and they just need to write the next number. And after a few generations, some future generation will be writing 173,870. 183,875, 183,879. Tomorrow, we have to go to the Eastern Gate because Daniel said tomorrow the Messiah is coming in. Guess when the triumphal entry occurred? We can prove, and I've done it over and over again. Many of you have heard me do it, put all the verses and all the math together and explain the different calendars and how it all works out. It is not hard to prove today that Jesus entered Jerusalem 173,800 and something days. We know the month was the right month. We assume God just nailed the day. But we know the month the decree to rebuild Jerusalem was made. We know the month Jesus entered Jerusalem. And it was this number. That's why Jesus had to enter today. That's why he set his face. He was resolutely determined to get there 6 months earlier. That's why he wound up the crowd and made sure that they were screaming, Hosanna, Hosanna. That's why he made sure that the religious leaders had the murder plan in place or were inspired to put that plan in place. God was in control of every detail because he was giving you a sign you can't refute. But yet we refute it. People all around us refute it. They don't have eyes to see. They don't have ears to hear. But the proof's there.